Noah's Ark. Long, long ago, when the world was still new, God looked down and saw that the people on earth had become wicked. They had forgotten that God wanted them to be good. Instead of helping each other, they spent all their time fighting and hurting one another. All this wickedness made God unhappy. But an old man named Noah remembered God. Noah and his family spent their days working hard and being kind to their neighbours and to each other. God was pleased with Noah and his family. One day, God spoke to Noah. "The world is too full of wickedness," God said, "and I am going to send a flood to destroy the earth and everyone on it. But I will keep you and your family safe." "What must I do?" asked Noah. "Build a big boat called an ark," said God. "It must be big enough to hold you and your whole family and 2 of every animal in the world." Noah got to work right away. His sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, all helped. They planned and measured, they chopped and sawed, they hammered and heaved, and together they built a great, strong ark. At last the ark was ready. Noah's wife, his sons, and his sons' wives all climbed aboard. Then Noah gathered 2 of every animal on earth. Every creature that hopped or walked or crawled or flew came to board the ark. There were cats and bats and rats, monkeys and donkeys, hooting owls, and wolves that howled, kangaroos and kinkajous, big baboons and little raccoons. So many animals of all sorts and shapes and sizes. The ark held them all. When the last animal had climbed aboard, Noah went inside and shut the door of the ark. Then the rain started to fall. It rained, and the water rose higher and higher, covering everything on earth. Even the tops of the highest mountains were under water. But the ark floated on the water, and inside everyone was safe and warm and dry. Finally, after 40 days and 40 nights, the rain stopped. Then strong winds began to blow, drying up the water. Soon the mountain tops appeared, and the ark came to rest on a mountain called Ararat. One day Noah sent a raven out of the ark. Soon it came back. It hadn't found anywhere to land. A week later, Noah sent a dove out. This time it came back with an olive branch in its beak, so Noah knew that it had found some trees and that the earth was almost dry. Noah waited another week, then sent the dove out again. This time the dove did not come back. It had found a place to land. "It is time to leave the ark," Noah told his family. He opened the doors, and all the animals went out, all the birds and beasts and all the creeping, crawling creatures. They spread out to find homes and raise their families. Finally, Noah and his family left the ark. They were so happy to be back on dry land. The first thing Noah did was pray to God to say thank you for keeping him and his family safe from the flood. Suddenly, Noah saw something beautiful in the sky, a bright, shining rainbow. "This rainbow is a sign of my promise to you, Noah," God said. "I will never again send a flood to destroy the earth." These days, whenever we see a rainbow in the sky, we remember Noah and God's promise to him and us. Claudia's Cauldron. One evening, Claudia was playing in the garden when she found a black pot with 3 legs. "That looks just like a magic cauldron," said Claudia. "I wonder if I could cast a spell." She put some rose petals into the cauldron with some strawberries from the fruit patch and said the magic word, "Abracadabra." Poof! A large cake decorated with strawberries and sugar roses appeared in front of Claudia. "Yum!" said Claudia, eating it all up. "What a great cauldron!" Next she put into the cauldron a hairbrush, a sugar cube, and a slice of bread. She said the magic word, and pop! A black pony appeared in the garden, and started munching the grass. "Wow," said Claudia in surprise. "I've always wanted a pony." She sprang into the saddle and rode around the garden 3 times. Then she jumped down beside the cauldron once more. "Now for the biggest spell of all," said Claudia. "A spell to make sure that I never have to go to bed again." Into the cauldron she dropped a broken alarm clock, a bedtime story, and a picture of a star. Then she rubbed her hands together in excitement and said the magic word. "Abracadabra!" Claudia waited and waited, but nothing happened. "I'll try it again," said Claudia, this time calling out the magic word a little louder. "Abracadabra!" But still nothing happened. "Claudia!" called her daddy from the house. "Time for bed!" Claudia sighed and trudged reluctantly toward the house. Even the power of magic couldn't stop bedtime from happening. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Once a young boy named Franz worked as an apprentice to a sorcerer. Every day the sorcerer gave Franz a long list of chores to do around the castle, or he disappeared into his workshop to chant spells or journey to nearby villages. But Franz wanted to learn magic. He knew the sorcerer kept a spell book in the workshop, and he longed to read it. So he decided to sneak a look the next time the sorcerer went out. One day, as the sorcerer was getting ready to leave the castle, he ordered Franz to clean the floor of the great hall. "Fetch the water from the well with this bucket, then carry it to the big stone container in the hall," he said. "When the container is full of water, scrub the floor with this broom." As soon as the sorcerer left, Franz rushed to get his master's spell book. Inside, Franz saw a spell that could bring objects to life. "The broom could clean the floor by itself," he cried excitedly. As Franz chanted the spell, the broom suddenly sprouted little arms and leapt into action. It carried the bucket to the well and fetched water to fill the container. After a while, Franz noted that the container was overflowing. There was water all over the floor. "Stop!" he shouted, but the broom didn't stop. Panicking, Franz grabbed an axe and chopped the broom into small pieces. But the little pieces of broom grew arms too. Soon there was an army of new brooms. The sorcerer returned just as the overflowing water reached Franz's knees. "Please forgive me, master," Franz cried. "I just wanted to try magic." The sorcerer was angry. He chanted a spell, and in an instant the brooms all vanished and the water disappeared. "You have much to learn," the sorcerer told Franz sternly. "I promise to work very hard," the apprentice replied. "Very well," replied the sorcerer. "You can start by cleaning this floor the old-fashioned way."